Many thanks for clicking on to attheraces.com. We're looking forward to Royal Ascot 2012 and the Wokingham, a traditional handicap that's very hard to fathom out, but we've got the brains trust of Jason Weaver and Andy Gibson to guide us through the key contenders. And let's have a look at some of the key horses in this. Mereka for David Nagle, a horse who's got winning form over in the UK this season. An Irish Raider. Alban Star for Richard Fahey. Bartolomew for Marco Botti. William Haggis could send out Cape Classic. Desert Law for Andrew Balding. Max Power ran well in the race last year for James Fanshawe. Dutch Supreme for David Lanigan. And Pearl Ice, an interesting contender for the David Barron Yard. Well, David Nagle's not been training too long over in Ireland, but he's done quite well so far with his small team, and he came across and won a race on the Rowley Mile early on this season. We can see Mereka winning last time out at Naas, Andy, and this horse, all of his winning form so far has come on a slow surface.
It has, and he's won 3 out of his last 4. As you say, he handles cut, which could be crucial on the day. The negative with him is of course that he's now up to 108 rating, and he's carrying 9 stone 10. I think he'll run extremely well, but that would be some ask, wouldn't it, carrying 9 stone 10 to victory? Yeah,
it's off a big weight, Jason. His 2 wins have come off 97 and 102, and he's up again on the back of those.
Yeah, and I think that possibility, we know the nature of the track at Newmarket, where Joseph got him up late last time in a big field. It was a little bit unsatisfactory because they split between the stand side and the far side of the track. He was on the stand side of the track, and arguably fresher ground, and possibly just shielded a little bit down inside the final furlong. So that form at Newmarket, there's probably 1 or 2 in behind him that are going to reoppose and are hopeful of turning the form around.
Well, one of those is Alban Star, who was 5th on that occasion. This horse has got winning form at Wolverhampton, and also got form that ties in quite closely with Primeval, who's another possible for many of the Royal Ascot handicaps. Multiple entries for Primeval. We can see him here winning at Wolverhampton back in March. And a horse you'd give a bit of a chance to here or not?
Definitely. He's trading just about favourite at the moment, 14, 16 to 1. I think he's a horse who could step up to perhaps listed, possibly even Group 3 standard. The difficulty for him, if he does step up, is that I do think he's a horse better with a fast pace, and sometimes those top handicappers are very good in handicaps, and when they step up they don't quite get the pace. He'll get the pace here, and for me he's a real contender, and like with the Hunt Cup, we're just waiting on the draw. If he gets near a rail, then he's certainly just about at the top of my shortlist.
Alban Star for you as well, Jason?
He's all right. He's not got that many miles on the clock. I'm slightly concerned. Admittedly, you could say around at Wolverhampton it gets pretty tight, but it's on a smallish track and not with huge fields. This is going to be a real sort of the second time that he's in amongst the hurly-burly and the hustle and bustle of a real big competitive contest. It's how he handles that. He did run really well behind Mereka.
That could also be a concern for one of the younger horses in the field, a 3-year-old in Bartolomew. Only had 3 starts so far, managed to win on the all-weather at Wolverhampton back in April, and last time Jason was second to Mince at Newmarket.
Yeah, he started his winning over 7 furlongs at Lingfield. He then dropped back to win here at Wolverhampton over 6. Adam Kirby, Pat Cosgrave. He then, as you mentioned, up at Newmarket in a real competitive contest, was only just denied by a head. He's probably got a little bit of class and a little bit of quality about him. I don't know about him once he gets in a bit of a ruck amongst all the others in here. It might just happen a bit quick for him.
And that would have to be a concern, Andy, a 3-year-old against these seasoned handicappers. It's a tough ask.
Certainly, and maybe we'll have another look at him when we see what his draw is, but at the moment he's probably not on the shortest of my shortlist.
So that was Bartolomew. William Haggis sends out Cape Classic here, another horse who's been in winning form. We can see him here at Windsor. A winner on this occasion. He's also got form up against Dimension, who's been second to him, and his well-bred Jason is a half-brother to King's Apostle.
Yeah, he's very well-bred. Goes for, of course, Bernard Cantor. We'd certainly love him to have a winner up at the Royal Meeting. He's a horse who they were trying to get him to stretch out. They weren't sure of his trip. As close as 3 runs back, he was running over 7 furlongs behind Dimension, who we mentioned a little bit earlier on. So they were unsure. It's now that they've committed him and say, right, OK, maybe he is just a little bit more speed. I know that he was pretty impressive. Bathwick Bear's a fair old stick that he beat at Windsor last time. And he goes there with a chance. But he's not the type of horse that he's been laid out for the race. He's not one of those coming in here that's got so much, or he's got his light hidden away. We know all about him.
Yeah, he is an exposed contender, Andy.
He is exposed, and you would like to think there'll be one or two progressive horses that'll be better handicapped.
So that was Cape Classic. The last one we're going to look at is a horse trained by Andrew Balding in Desert Law. He travelled very well last time out and finished second in the Investec Dash on Derby Day, but we can see him here, Andy, winning at Bath last August.
Yeah, now if the ground miraculously came good to firm by the Saturday of the meeting, then I think he would have an excellent chance in this race. I think he'll just about get home on that ground. In the Epsom Dash, he was badly drawn. I thought he ran particularly well in that race. Personally, good to soft ground. I just don't see him getting home, personally. I don't know what you think, Jason.
Not under those sort of conditions. If it was to be quick, he's a contender. He was half a length off, of course, Stoner Folker, who managed to smash the world record, the real world record, if we like to call it now, in the technical age rather than the hand-timed, and how many ticks slow that actually was. But it was a big run from him. He does want it fast. He's got the ability to be competitive. I can see him running a good race, but I see one or two just being able to bob him.
I quite like to look at Max Power here. He won the race on the far side last year, but still came home in third place. But it is selections time for the Wokingham. Andy, give us the winner.
I think at this stage, and of course it's dependent upon us getting a rail draw, or a near rail draw. At this stage, my likeliest winner would be Alban Star. If you said to me which is the horse most likely to finish in the first 4 or 5, I would say Waffle from David Barron's. Similar preparation to last year, ran very well at York last time out. Came second in the race last year behind a very good horse. I think but he's not a winner. He's a horse who places an awful lot, and I could see Waffle finishing in the first few.
So Waffle to finish in the first few. Alban Star to win, and for Jason?
Couple against the field. I like Mereka of Ray Guests, out of Million, of course, who was trained. I was trained by Ray for Chris Mills. Was in the Mereka contest, beat SK Love last time of Mark Johnson's, and also Seal Rock, who I think was on the wrong side of the track when he chased home Mereka up at Newmarket. I could see him being a big improver. He's only had 2 starts this year, and it looks like this has been the long-term plan with him. It looks like he's been plotted up, and I like that, a plot for a Royal Ascot prize.
So thanks to the boys for their input, and 3 horses to put into the mix there for the Wokingham: Alban Star, Mereka and Seal Rock.